Samsung have bedazzled us with a whole range of high-end phones this year. It started with the Galaxy S6, then we had the Galaxy S6 Edge, then we had the Galaxy S6 Plus Edge, and now of course we have the Note 5. But of course Samsung aren't the only smartphone manufacturer in the world. Recently I reviewed the Huawei Mate S, and today I'm going to compare it with Samsung's Galaxy Note 5. So if you're ready, let's take a look. Samsung has certainly switched things about a bit with its design since the Galaxy S5 and Note 4. Everything changed with the Galaxy S6, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 has followed suit by adapting the new design language. However, Huawei hasn't remained stuck in the past either, and although it has had other metal phones in the past, the Mate S also sports a new design. The Samsung Galaxy Note 5 has a body made of metal and glass with a unibody design that is unlike many others. Similarly, the Mate S also has an all-metal frame and a non-removable battery. Overall, the difference between these two are that the Mate S has the power key and the volume rockers both on the right, whereas the Note 5 has the volume keys on the left and the power button on the right. The Note 5 has the Samsung home button on the lower bezel flanked by the capacitive keys, whereas the Mate S has no button and no capacitive keys. All keys are on screen. Lastly, we mustn't forget that the Note 5 also includes a stylus in the S Pen, a feature missing from the Mate S. The Samsung Galaxy Note 5 touts a 5.7-inch Super AMOLED display, which is larger than Huawei's 5.5-inch AMOLED panel. Aside from size, we are looking at Full HD resolution on the Mate S and QHD on the Note 5. However, both are using similar screen technologies. Super AMOLED and AMOLED panels are known for emitting very bright, saturated colours as well as very deep blacks, something that can clearly be seen on both devices. However, one aspect of the Mate S that some people won't like is that the designers have elected to use very thin bezels. So much so there is a black border around the display where the active pixels stop and the display material continues towards the edge. Personally, I don't find this a problem, however some users find it quite distracting. The Note 5 clearly has the upper hand when it comes to raw processing power with its Exynos 7420 octa-core processor. Although the Kirin 935 is also an octa-core processor, Huawei have opted for two clusters of quad Cortex A53 cores, whereas the Exynos 7420 uses 4 Cortex A53 cores and 4 Cortex A57 cores. Also, the GPU in the Note 5 is the Mali T760, whereas the Mate S is sporting the lower performing Mali T628. The other big difference is that the Mate S has 3GB of RAM, while the Note 5 packs a draw-dropping 4GB. But let's move on to the other components. Internal storage options for the Mate S are 32GB and 64GB, plus a 128GB variant with a pressure-sensitive screen. However, this latter option won't be available globally. The Galaxy Note 5 also has a similar lineup, but there is no 128GB variant. Both suffer from excessive use of the internal storage by the system, as both devices only offer around 24GB of free space to the user from the 32GB of total flash memory. Some of you might prefer the Huawei Mate S when considering storage, as it supports micro SD cards, something Samsung has done away with. However, neither offer removable batteries. The battery in the Note 5 is a 3000 mAh unit, while the Mate S packs a 2700 mAh unit. Both devices have a built-in fingerprint reader, but how they are implemented is quite different. The Note 5 includes the fingerprint reader in the home button on the front of the device on the lower bezel. Huawei have taken a different approach and has placed the fingerprint reader on the back. While both fingerprint readers are highly accurate, I find the fingerprint reader on the Mate S easier to use. The reason is quite simple. The Mate S allows you to wake and unlock your phone in one step, whereas the Note 5 requires 2 steps. The thing about all lock screen technologies is that the harder they are to use, the more likely they are to be ignored. On your Android phone, you can set up a PIN or a pattern to unlock the phone. I know lots of people that use them. But when the authentication step becomes too cumbersome, then users tend to do away with them. I tried using a PIN or a pattern on my phone, but having to type in the PIN or make that pattern like 50 times a day drives me crazy, so I don't do it anymore. Fingerprint readers offer an authentication step that should make unlocking smartphones quick. When it comes to the unlock, both the Note 5 and the Mate S do an equally good job. Some people won't like the fact that the fingerprint reader is on the back of the Mate S, as it means that you can't unlock your device without picking it up. That is a fair criticism. However, I have been digging back into my memory and I really can't recall the last time I tried using my phone without actually holding it in my hand. However, if for you it is essential to unlock the phone without holding it, then there is always the backup PIN number, which can be tapped in on those occasions when you aren't holding your phone. However, where the Mate S gets it right and the Note 5 gets it wrong is that the Mate S allows you to wake and unlock your phone in one step. With the phone asleep, you can just press your finger on the reader and the phone will wake and unlock in one swift movement. On the Note 5, you need to wake the device with the power button and then place your finger on the sensor, or you need to press the home button and leave your finger on the button until the fingerprint is read. Now, I've practiced this maneuver repeatedly and it still takes around 1 second to wake and unlock the phone. And don't get me wrong, 1 second is great, but it seems like such a long time when you compare it to the instantaneous wake and unlock on the Mate S. The Huawei Mate S comes with a 13 megapixel rear camera that includes a 4-color RGBW imaging sensor and optical image stabilization. Also, the camera housing is scratch proof thanks to a sapphire protection. However, the Note 5 has a 16 megapixel sensor, an f1.9 aperture and also includes optical image stabilization. There is no doubting that the camera on the Note 5 is the better of these two. However, here are a few sample photos so that you can compare them yourself. On the front side, you'll find an 8 megapixel camera on the Huawei Mate S and a 5 megapixel camera on the Note 5. Here, on paper at least, the Mate S offers more to selfie lovers. Both the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 and the Huawei Mate S run Android 5.1.1 Lollipop, but that doesn't exactly mean that their software is identical. In fact, their UI schemes are quite different. Samsung's TouchWiz UI was stripped down for the Galaxy S6, and we are thankful that the same philosophy has been applied to the Note 5. It still has all of those great S Pen features, multitasking and other elements, but the interface is much sleeker. Huawei's version of Android is known as Emotion UI, and it's quite significantly different from TouchWiz and from stock Android. The most notable difference is the lack of an app drawer, which means you are dependent on folders to keep things organised. Huawei has added some extra built-in functionality, including a set of motion controls like flip to mute and the knuckle gesture system. There is also a one-handed layout mode which temporarily reduces the size of the UI so that it can be used with one hand. Finally, Emotion UI also has some dual windowing support, but mainly for the stock apps like Gallery, Notepad, videos and so on. Overall, Huawei's take on Android is certainly different from the stock experience, however it is sleek and well designed. When it comes to pricing, the Mate S is available for €649 in Europe or £469 in the UK, while the Note 5 is available for $700 for those in the USA. If you're using a direct conversion between dollars, euros and pounds, then the two devices are similarly priced. However, the Note 5 isn't available in Europe and a direct conversion never works anyway. For example, the new Amazon Fire tablets cost $49 from Amazon.com, yet they cost £49 from Amazon.co.uk, but £49 at the time of writing is actually around $75. If you could get a Note 5 in Europe for the same price as you can get it in the USA, then the Note 5 would be an absolute bargain. Likewise, if you get a Huawei Mate S in the USA for only $469, then it would clearly be the cheaper of the two devices. And there you have it, my quick comparison between the Note 5 and the Mate S. Now, if you had to choose between these two phones, it may not be just the pure specifications that would alter your decision. For example, there's availability and there's pricing. The Note 5 isn't available in Europe, for example, and what is the price of the Mate S in your local area? If you were to put aside availability and pricing, then clearly the Note 5 is the better of the two devices. However, the Huawei does offer a good overall general experience. Well, my name's Gary Sims from Android Authority. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Also above, you'll find links to both social media and to YouTube, so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can follow me on Twitter and on Google+. Also, please use the comments below to tell me what you think about the Note 5, what you think about the Mate S. As for me, I'll see you in my next video.